behind this one?
Huh?
You want me to sit right in here?
Yes.
All right.
Now there's, this is running, right?
Yeah, it's running right now as we speak.
And the first order of business is, I need you to take the snares off, because, and the reason for that, snares camouflage sound. You understand what I mean? When you play and using the toms, you'll find that the real true feel of what you're doing comes out because of the rebound, because of the sound of the snares. The snares are camouflages your sound, but it works perfectly when you go into your job. But if you practice at home, if you take the snares off, you'll see how much progress you're making as you're going along.
So practice with snares off?
Mm-hmm. Especially in the beginning. And as time goes on, you're going to find out that you're going to appreciate it even more. And you'll practice it longer and longer with the snares off, because then all of a sudden you'll find another way of things happening. And it makes that much of a difference. Yes.
All right. And rolls too, especially, I'd imagine. Because the snare, like what you were saying about camouflaging the sound, like when you do rolls, it's almost hard to tell if it's the snare rattling or if it's actually the rebound of the stick, right?
Exactly. Good.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Now, before you go any further, one of the things that you're going to learn, that you're going to need to do, is you're going to need to get out of your sneakers
Okay.
and play with leather sole shoes.
Leather sole shoes?
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
Because you want to be able to feel the vibration of the pedals. The vibration of the pedal is going to give you the opportunity to be able to play flat foot, heel, toe, or toe.
Leather sole sneakers?
You can't get it, you can't get that same thing in sneakers. You can only be on your toes. Now, I automatically know that that's what's going to happen. So I'm trying to give it to you so it's on tape. It's the early things, that everything that you do here today is going to follow you the rest of your life. That's what I try to do. I try to give enough to stimulate you so you'll understand that every time that you go to sit down, I want you to start thinking about me.
All right. Do you mind if I grab my pencil and paper and my pad
Sure,
and take some notes?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said practice with the snares off?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll find that things will start to happen that, I wasn't expecting to happen.
Exactly.
And leather sole shoes,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll be able to feel the vibrations of the pedals.
Exactly.
And may I ask why, I know it's important, but why, because I want to hear from your voice or your words, why playing or feeling the vibrations through the pedals is important.
Because this way you can play flat foot, heel, toe, or toe. The reason for that is that when you're only on your toes, you're using your whole leg to play.
You're exactly right.
Well, I've been there, done that. Okay?
I can imagine.
And that alone is where your temples are going to fall. You're going to lose temples. Because Mother Nature is not going to let you stay up on your toes. Because you're going to get tired. It's just that simple. Nothing fancy. You're just going to get tired. And you're going to drop your tempo. Temples are going to fall. See, those come from bad habits. They also come from years of watching others. And this is part of the problem that too many students have as a player. You never ever want to limit your kind of playing. You want to be able to play everything and anything at all times. So in order for that to be done, there's certain strength that you have to get in your ankles.
The ankles?
Yeah. Ankles are going to be your most important strength that you're going to ever do. Your ankles and your wrists. They become equally as important. All right. Now that I've set you up for the kill, why don't you tell me how long you've been playing, what you've been playing, and what you're looking for?
Well, I started playing drums. I became a drummer because I always wanted to be in a rock band when I was in middle school. You know, it's like one of those, adolescent, phases. And I met a buddy who played guitar. He was really good. He'd been playing for 7 years. And he wanted to start a band. And I originally wanted to be a guitar player. But for some reason, I couldn't, when I would play guitar like that, it just didn't make sense. And then he told me to play drums, and just the way I was expressing myself on the drum set just felt a lot better. Like, I didn't really feel anything for the other instruments like I did with the drums. And so I stuck with it, and I stayed in his band for the bands he played in for 3 years. And so that's kind of like how I got my, basic knowledge of drumming, was just through playing through rock and roll bands, or the one he was in. And then, that fell through, Band's End. And, I was like, what do I do from here? And so I started going to PCC, and they had music electives. I started taking those, and then it kind of there's this thing called jazz, and it's like, oh, jazz. I've always known about jazz, and then I actually started to learn jazz. And, playing with, some of my professors in PCC, there's a guy named Clifford Waits who's a professor there who plays saxophone, and he's really good. And, I've got to play with different professors in their ensembles. And then I actually started to learn jazz, and I was like, this is just a whole another way of playing drums. And then, getting into, the Latin songs they did, like Blue Bossa, Song for My Father, and just stuff like that. And then I ended up graduating the music program. And now I just want to further my education. I want to be a working drummer. That's my goal. And
Good.
Yeah, whether that means, because I noticed you're playing last night, I know, because I've seen videos of you, I know you can do really impressive things, but it wasn't about you, even though, it was your band, Bernard Purdie and the East Coast West Band, it was about the whole band, not just you. And, you really made that point across just by the way you played. And, I really appreciated that. It was an eye-opener, because sometimes, I'll be playing and, I'll just get so into it that I'm not even listening to everybody, and I just, sometimes I'll, throw in a fill there, and then I just get carried away. But I just noticed you didn't get carried away at all, and when you did have those moments, it was just bam, it was that moment, and then it was back to, just that, simple shuffle, or, that ride beat. And I have to say, your solo on A-Train was so melodic. I could hear the entire melody of A-Train from the moment you started your solo to, you know, when you brought the band back in, and I really appreciate that. I love melodic solos.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at now. I wanna be a working drummer. Like, I don't just want to be in rock bands, you know, that'd be nice, you know, whatever, you know, comes with that. But I want to be able to play with anybody. I want to be the kind of person that no matter who they are, they want to call me up to jam with them.
Good.
Yeah. And that's my goal. Yeah.
It's a pretty big goal.
It is a big goal, and it's definitely a long quest, and I'm doing all that I can to get there.
Okay.
You know, I'm 20 years old, and so, you know, it's kind of a rough time in my life, you know, like right there, like at the peak, you know, of like becoming an adult. But, you know, as I'm becoming an adult, I want to, you know, not just become a really good drummer, but, you know, a really good person as well. And so it's just trying to find the balance of those two things. Because, you know, drums is my passion, but it's definitely, you know, there's more to life than just playing the drums. And just trying to find that balance is kind of hard.
All right. That's good. I like that.
Glad you like that.
No, because you have a goal, and that's beautiful. And that's how you're going to accomplish everything that you set out. You set your goals. I don't care how high you set them, but sometimes you can set them up just so you can reach another level, another plateau. So you lower your standards for a minute, because you don't lose sight of where you want to go and what you want to do. Because, as you said, your goal is to be a working musician. That's heavy. Because we usually lose sight of that when we're in the practice room. Now, what I teach, how I teach, is to show you that you can do this on an ongoing basis all the time. Yes, makes that much of a difference.
Oh yeah, no, like, cause for drummers, it's so hard to be able to practice all the time. A guitar player, you know, with an acoustic guitar can play in an apartment, they can practice anywhere. But it's so hard for us drummers, I feel like sometimes.
Got your hands tied. We all have our hands tied. Even I had my hands tied as a kid. But I got over it because my mother allowed me to play on the pots and pans that she had. Yes, she ended up getting a new set, and she told me the old set was mine. Don't touch the new set. So I had to learn the discipline of knowing that, oh gosh, there's a new set of pots and pans and I can't play them. You know, so I'm gonna have to make these other ones do. So I did. And I started to learn to take care of them. Because you're not always gonna get what you want. It's not even about, at that time, a need. It's all about what you want. So I had to learn to focus on what I wanted, or also what I felt, though, that I needed. I wanted it to be what I wanted and needed, not what my teacher. Because I wanted to bring something to the plate and to the table. So I worked at it very, very hard. And it does work. It's good. And all that's about being focused. Yes. That's the word that you're going to hear a great deal from the rest of your life.
Focus?
Mm-hmm. And there's so many different ways of using it and how to make it work.
Can you teach me those ways?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Please.
Because all of it, it's all simple, but it also comes from inside you. The foundation. You gotta realize and understand the foundation. And we already started. We're on our verge. We're on our way already. The things that we're talking about right now is exactly what you have to make things work for you. The rest of your life. Focus. Where you have to go. As we get started, and as we form this bond, one thing that you're always going to hear from me, it's going to be in the back of your head, back of your brain, front, side, everywhere else, is where one is. One is always in front of you. It'll never be to the back, to the side, or up. It's always going to be in front. That's where you learn how to count. That's where your counting begins and ends. Knowing where one is. Every time that you sit down to play, know where one is. And we will get along the rest of your life.
Knowing where the one is.
Mm-hmm. It's that important. Whether you're doing time, whether you're doing solo, whether you're accomplished, it doesn't matter.
You always got to land on that one, huh?
You don't have to land on it. You got to know where it is. You can come out and put your hands, have your sticks up in the air. You can do whatever you want, but you got to know where that one is. Whether you land on it or whether you land off of it, around it, still got to know where it is in the place. Counting music is your lifeblood. And you're not going to counter 1, 2, 3, 1. No. And you don't go there. You got to go where it's focused. Here's your center. Your center is right here in front of you. And that's where you got to know what. Whatever the tempo. 1. 1. However you want to count it. 1. 1.
1.
1.
1. 1.
That's it. That's where you pulse.
The one.
It's the one.
So that's the most important part.
That's the most important part of anything that you do, is learning how to count and making it work.
What do you mean by making it work?
Make it work. So know where it is. Know how you're going to play. Know where the music is going to come to. Everything resolves and resolves around it. Everything. It's your lifeblood to know where one is. It's called communication. Everybody that plays an instrument, they have to know where one is as well.
Yeah, timekeeping isn't just a drummer's job, right?
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, amen to that.
But you're going to get blamed if the tempos deviate.
Of course.
because you are the drummer. We're following you. They make all kinds of excuses not to have to count for themselves, so they can put it on somebody else's back. And it is part of your job to carry the load. You're going to carry everybody. It's just a way of life. It makes that much of a difference. All right. Now you can play. Play for me.
Just anything?
Anything.
Snares on or off?
Off.
Off? Okay. Keep going? Keep going?
Okay, so let me tell you now about some of your bad habits. The biggest part of your bad habits is how you're sitting at the drum. You're already hunched over, so consequently, you're playing more with your arms instead of your wrists. Fingers is the ultimate of your speed. So what you do there, you're eventually going to get there, but that's going to take time to build up those muscles. The muscles that you want to build up is your ankle or your wrists.
And your fingers?
Wrist first.
Wrist first?
Eventually, yes, you get down to your fingers. I don't want you to think about running to your fingers
Until you get the wrists.
until you can get the power in your wrists. And once you finally get even a little bit of power, it don't have to be a whole lot, a whole great thing. But you need to be able to sit up, not just be up on your toes, because you can't sit up and still be up on your toes the whole time. Because you end up, because of the sneakers, you end up leaning. When you're playing a right-hand set, you lean to your left.
I've noticed that about my playing. Sometimes I like set up a mirror, and I've always wondered why I do that. And I've always tried to like adjust it, but it just goes back to the same thing.
And you got to bring your arms down. There you go.
More relaxed on the shoulders.
And it's not your shoulders that you're going to play with. Your shoulders is the last thing that you do when you want to look good about what you're doing. like this, being an acrobat. You can do all kinds of things. What you don't want to do is your hands all up in the air, because it means that your whole arm is working. But you do that when you want to show off. Showtime. No. You lean, you reach. You want to look good doing it. But it takes a lot of energy out of it. You want your arms down. And when you pick up your sticks, you should be able to hit your cymbals from right here.
Just right here?
Yeah. And this way you're not moving your arm, you're moving your wrist. Now, pick up your stick. Can you hit the cymbal from there?
Yeah, you can.
Now, go to the other side. Now go to the other cymbal. Now go back to the other cymbal. Now go to your tongue. Next one. Next one. Don't lean, don't lean. Sit straight. Ah, right there, right there.
Right here?
Right there. And I'm at center. This is how you're going to find out where and how you're centered.
By the way you sit? I hope you find the one easier, huh?
You will always be able to find it easier. Because it's less effort that you have to do. Now, let's just switch hands and let your left hand do the same thing. Okay, now. Now, see how far out your arm is? No, I'm just going to show you. Sometimes that's what happens when you have to go to get it. Because the whole point is that you were using the ball of the stick.
Yeah.
So see how far out your arm is?
Yeah.
And see how far you have to reach? It's a no-no. But from time to time, because of the position of where your cymbals are, that's what's going to happen. Now you can't stay there for too long because your arm's going to get tired. So what's going to happen? You're not going to hit the ball of the stick anymore. You're going to hit the shoulder.
Point made.
It's just Mother Nature. See, you got to start to learn to work with Mother Nature. It's that much of a difference. How, when, where, why. The W's.
And the H.
And the H. You can go and write it down if you're trying to remember. But it's supposed to be on your tape too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in order for these things to happen, in order for you to play, you have to learn how to feel the vibrations of the pedals You're not going to feel it with sneakers, which is the reason why you wear sneakers in the first place, so you don't feel vibrations. That's why you also are able to play on your toes. That's the only way that you can feel any vibration with those pedals, being on your toes. But you're gonna be off balance. And being off balance means that Mother Nature is gonna do its do. And your temples are gonna fall just like that. Because you're gonna get tired. Don't have anything to do with nothing super superb and collected and grabbing it out of the air. It's just plain old Mother Nature. Breathing. You gotta learn how to breathe. When you're playing and you got a figure that you're trying to do, what do? You hold your breath until you get that figure out and you start breathing. That's just normal. That's just normal. All right. Let's try the next step. The next step is a twofold situation. Whereas when you're sitting, you gotta learn to heel and toe on that hi-hat. It's quarter notes on the bass drum.
So much harder with sneakers.
It is, isn't it?
So this is just one of those things you can practice no matter where you are, huh?
That's right. So you're going to learn the discipline of time. There are two key factors here. One is vibration, and the other is being able to do heel and toe. Two that you don't get just being on your toes. Yeah? Everything. The whole leg and thigh moves. So what happens when you try to be subtle playing the bass drum and playing a ballad? How the hell are you going to play a ballad and your foot is still going this way? You lost all your subtleties, all the smoothness, the easiness, the lightness. Because the leg is still going. Once you stop, your heel still goes. Because you're trying to hold time, trying to keep time. This is not where it's supposed to be. This is not where it's supposed to be. It's right here. Your third eye. Your third eye.
What is your third eye?
Yeah, right there. That's your timekeeper. That's your temple. That's your timekeeper. It's that important. Okay, you can go ahead and write that down. And then we're going to go to the next step and play a little bit more. Okay. sitting on the seat, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Right here?
Because now you can reach. See this, up here? I want you to eventually come down 3 inches.
The hi-hat? Move it
Mhm.
down?
Yeah, when you're at home, I want you to come down at least 3 inches from that. So that hi-hat is going to be here, and it's going to be about 3 inches from your snare.
3 inches from the snare?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when you're holding your sticks, see how you're sitting right now?
Yeah.
See how you were just sitting?
Yeah.
That was normal. See? Your hand up here,
Yeah.
your arm is out. That's normal. Yeah, there we go. Every time. You do that because it's comfortable for you to slouch. No. That's where you want. And now relax. Breathe, breathe.
I think I forget to do that too much.
Yes, we all do. That's the sensitivity of what you have to do when you sit down to play. That's where sensitivity is going to come from at all times. Yep. See how your eyes automatically close when you automatically close, but yet they're wide open because you can see. And when you're playing in the band, you never do this. You never do that when you're looking at everybody in the band. You look at it from here, and you open. You open your eyes so they go peripheral. There you go. Keep going. See how far you can take your hands up.
In my sight?
Yeah. See that?
Yeah, about right there.
Mm-hmm.
Any further and it's like, I don't
Yeah.
see him anymore.
That's where you can concentrate. That's how you concentrate. So you can stay focused in front.
What if I was reading a piece of music
That's
and my
okay,
sight
too.
was over here?
That's all right. But you don't want to turn your body. There you go. It's not your body that you want to turn. It's part of your head. I'm going to go to the restroom, so you go ahead. Give yourself a couple of minutes. Just play. But keep the snares on.
Keep the snares off. You got it.
things are, where you're actually hitting your drum over here, which says your toms are too close. And you have to move things back to the point. Your toms would go further back, just a little bit. It's like an inch. So your snare can come further back. There you go. And still at the same time, keep your almost perfectly, yes. Everything floats around where you see, where things are most comfortable. And how they lean. Like, this should be this much. But what you don't want to do is have to reach. The less reaching you do, the easier it is for you to sit correct, longer. And as you get into the routine, your breathing takes shorter breaths. You don't have to take as many long ones. You know, it becomes easier to do. Because breathing is part of what you need more than anything, so you don't end up with headaches. Because if you're breathing hard all the time, you're going to end up with headaches. Because it's called concentration. You've got to concentrate on what is there and what's going on. And the first order of business, when you sit down, I want you to stop thinking. When you normally sit and play, I want you to drop your tempos in half.
In half?
In half.
No matter what I'm doing.
No matter what you're doing, no matter how you sit down to play, how you would normally sit down, what you just did, that was normal for you. I want you to cut that tempo in half. And the reason for that, go ahead, you can write. The reason that I want you to do that is because you will learn twice as fast.
Really?
Yeah. Speed is not your friend. At this time, speed becomes your enemy until you learn how to play things slow and make it sound good. Anybody can make things sound good at fast tempos. Slow it down. Slow it down.
This may be irrelevant or relevant, but somebody once told me it's not how fast you move, but how hard you groove that counts.
Okay, well, if that's what you need to say to yourself for it to work, fine. But as far as I'm concerned, the slower that you can count and play, the better it's going to be, because then you will learn sound, feel, attitude, and being able to hold tempos. They're all foreign to you right now. But as you get older and as you get smarter, everything that you do is going to sound better, slower. Nobody can take those from you when you've learned it. And the very first thing that you do when you sit down, you end up smiling because you got it together for ballad. You're working your way down to the point to where you can play a ballad. Just a ballad. Just a plain old simple ballad. 2, 3, 4. easier, lighter, the slower, will make you viable to others. Because the hardest part of your job is to be able to do a ballad. Not fast. Most all of you can get a job playing fast. How many can get a job playing a ballad?
That's a good point.
It's needed. It's needed.
It feels good, ballads.
Yes.
And you can really hear the tone and the sound and the consistency in all the hits.
That's exactly what you want.
And are you counting in your head as well? Like
Always.
I know you always have that one, but
You always gotta count. That's all you need is the one. The one itself is the only one that takes that spot. So it gives you the downbeat, it gives you the upbeat, it gives you the parental, the whole works. Everything that you do resolves around the one. It makes you think. You can do your fast one. One. And all you did just then was cut your bars in half to quarters. Where one is becomes super essential. Whether it's a 2-bar phrase, 1-bar phrase, 4-bar phrase, knowing where it is so important. But that has to deal with your count. Okay? All right. I'm glad that you were there. Really glad you were there last night
I was really glad to
to
be there.
see that, hey, it works. It really works. I'm a timekeeper. Everybody laughs at me when they say, oh, yeah, you just, no, I'm a timekeeper. That's my job. Anything else becomes gravy. If I don't do anything else, I'm going to keep the time. Then I'm going to work and keep the tempo. But you got to know that they're two different things. Time and tempo. It's up to you as the individual what you have to do.
So it's up to me to find out what the difference between time and tempo is?
Yeah, well, you will. You will. The minute that your tempo starts to drop on you because you're still in your sneakers, you're going to know. Because the guys and every band that you play in knows when you're being able to keep the time and keep a tempo. It's like night and day. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it.
All right.
I think you did pretty good. You still have that look on your face. What happened? It's on your tape. It's in the stuff that you wrote down.
It's in here.
Yes. Now you got to apply it.
I already felt when you stepped out of the room, I just felt more relaxed. Like, just the whole posture thing and the arms, and it's not that I haven't had people tell me that before, but you just said it in a way that made sense to me.
That's the cue. That is. And as long as you understand that, you will progress just like
It's not gonna happen overnight.
It is overnight. It is overnight. Your overnight might be 6 months, might be 6 years. But the point is that every day it's going to mold into you. It's going to become part of you. My whole thing is for me to always be there for you. And when something is strange, think about me. And then simplify it.
Simplify. That's what this is all about, huh?
Yeah, keeping it
Slowing
simple.
down the tempo,
Yeah.
being relaxed, not doing as much, just keeping it simple.
Yeah. But you gotta learn how to use it. And that's the key. You gotta learn how to use it.
Learning how to use it. Okay.
All right.
Alright.
That's good.
Have we come to an end?
Oh, we've been there for last 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, that's alright.
I didn't bother. That's all right because I'm gonna go to lunch.
I gotta go to work. Pump some gas.
All right.
For now.
You do whatever you have to do to stay focused, to play your music. And I don't care what the job is. And when you're on the job, think about nothing but your job. Because then you can hurt yourself otherwise. And when the job is over, you're gonna take your breaks and your rest and stuff. Then you put yourself into that, what did I do today? And that's how you focus. You stay focused. So no matter what it is that you're gonna do, stay focused. It's a key.